Okay. This was completely unexpected, not planned at all, but I had to take advantage of the situation, of the possibilities, um, and I just had to do this. I know that this is not what I normally do, and this entire thing is more for me and more for my sister than more for any of y'all to see. And it's just incredibly, really important to me. I should look into the camera. I am going to go over my old childhood Minecraft server that I created and shared with my sister. We have so many powerful memories of this server. It's just absolutely bonkers and huge. And I figured out a way that I could record this and show everybody. And I know that nobody might care, but I care a lot. And I wanted to get Vox or Vexus, as you'll see in a moment, to do a joint commentary with me on this, and we might go over it again. But I just wanted to do this while I still could, while everything still worked, because I'm working with an Xbox 360 that might just break down at any time. So this is just something I really, really wanted to do. It's not going to be a high quality stream, but it's going to be a very meaningful stream to me. And as I say that, I have to add the qualifier that I'm using a controller, and I absolutely hate controllers, and I can't use controllers at all. I'm really, really bad at it. So prepare for some really bad but interesting commentary, really bad gameplay but interesting commentary about my old Minecraft server. I hope y'all really enjoy it. This is a method that I'm going to be using to be able to look back at this throughout the years. I don't know if I'll be putting it on YouTube publicly, but I plan to put it on YouTube privately so that once this Xbox dies, once the Minecraft is no longer a thing in 40 years, once the hard drive no longer works, once HDMI cords are out of usage, once everything is just connected directly to your brain, hey Tarkin, hey man, how's it going? Then I will at least have this on YouTube. If you didn't see the incredibly lengthy explanation, I'm going over my old Minecraft server that I shared with my sister, and I'm going to use this as a way to keep it in my memories, locked inside the vaults of YouTube, instead of locked inside of my very old Xbox 360 that is very fragile and almost never plays Minecraft because the disk drive doesn't work and the hard drive's going to fail, and this is just really important to me. And I'm going to do commentary for the whole thing. So, I'm sorry I'm not playing Warburgers, but this is just way more important, and I'm really excited to show people. Oh. Here we go. Again, I'm going to be really bad at using a controller, so don't make fun of me or make fun of me as much as you want. So this was the spawn area, and for the record, the entire name of this world was Oreos, based off of a story I heard about my brother-in-law who went to a Bible camp, and somebody at the Bible camp stole 5 pounds of Oreos. So my sister and I, when we were making the server, thought, Oreos, what a hilarious name. That's what we're going to name our Minecraft server. And this was the spawn area. It was Xbox 360, so you could still meet people doing spleef and flying and fighting, and then you would just invite them over. We had this whole thing. There are 2 builders. 2 people worked on this world, like almost nobody else. And we had our own outfits, too. I wore brown, and Vex, or Vox, as she's now known, wore black. I did all of the redstone, and Vox never did any redstone. Don't let her convince you of anything. There are so many hidden contraptions throughout the entire thing. Whenever I got bored of building, I would put in hidden passageways everywhere. She designed most of the stuff, and throughout the entire world, there are 87 individual structures, if not more. And the entire castle we have only counts as one structure. This was the spawn point set here, because we wanted it to be epic and majestic, and I think we had just finished Minecraft Story mode. Of course, we have a beacon underneath with the white and the black and the white and the black to symbolize Oreos. We also have this sign here called Oreos, because of course we do. This was our entire castle, and I'm going to be going through this, and this is all one structure out of the 87 structures we had. Our first structure was this. This bridge, I think we found a picture of it on Pinterest, and we were like, you know what? We're making that bridge. And we made that bridge. That was the first thing that happened. Afterwards, we made this giant boat out of acacia wood, like one of the most terrible woods, but still. And with the first thing is I put hidden doors everywhere. This is the first one here that would just go down into this little room. I probably need to wear speed to be able to get through this entire map. It would lead in here to where we had some, like, boss level armor that was iron, because iron is cool and diamond is lame. Hello, Shepard. I'm going over my old world, and I just wanted to catalog it for myself so that I could look back on this and really enjoy the nostalgia of that life. Oh, old menu. Speed. Where is speed? That's poison. Speed. That's speed 1. I need speed 2. That's speed 8. That'll probably last longer. Iron supremacy. Well, I was always about, like, the, you know, what would be fun. I realize now I do not have... I don't know if I have chat open in the background. So whoever watches this in the past or in the future will just have to... I already have night vision. I need to drink that so that everything makes sense. All right, that was this was Bedrock. This is Bedrock because it's Xbox 360. I'm really excited about this because I'm getting away from my Xbox 360 to be viewable, and Xbox is just gonna die later. So this was the huge boat that we made. It's meant to be flying. We added special artistic to the sails because a flat sail is just dumb. We added I think it was a ladder on the inside. No, it was a flowing water because you could just press up because you can't swim at this time. There was no way to swim. We had a map of the entire world. This is when the entire world was not infinite. I don't know if you could join me. This is Xbox 360. They stopped updating this a long time ago. Like, the most recent update was Terracotta. They have observers. That was the most recent update, was Terracotta and observers, and when they added dried kelp. Smokers and anvils and everything else just did not exist at all. I have an elytra. I don't even know if shields did. Hold on. Shield. No, there's no shields. No shields at all. So this was before all of that. We would have competitions trying to fly straight through this bridge. We would chase each other all throughout the map, and it was so much fun because I would always know where all the secret passages were. So yeah, first structure, bridge. Second, I believe it was the boat. We started working on this tower here. that really was super inconvenient because the walkway starts all the way over here, but I think I was 12 at the time. And at the end of the tower, I think there's always a dog. Yep, there's a dog, a notch apple. This is the entire map. And my sister would still get lost. It is a finite world with structures at every single corner, 87 of them, castle counting as one, and she would still get lost. It was hilarious to me, because I would never get lost. Third bridge, it's kind of just floating here like this. Again, hidden passageway, because I got bored, and I just needed a hidden passageway within a hidden passageway to just a random room. Because I got bored, and I just needed to do that. If I didn't do that, all of these go to nowhere. So, that's just how that works. Dope. My mouth is gonna get so dry from talking, but it's just, this is my childhood of Minecraft. This was the ballroom. It was just huge walls. The hardest part was trying to figure out how to light it, because it's a huge ballroom. When you have milk, look, there was just dark splotches everywhere. Without the chandelier, we would have zombies everywhere. It was so hard to light. At one point in time, we put beacons and then sea lanterns all throughout the entire floor and covered it with carpet so that we could keep everything lit, but it was just ugly. So we have this chandelier, we have these 4 corner pillars with the quartz, the kitchen over here. This was the table made out of doors and stairs because you had to do what you could do. Kitchen, of course, with a trash can. You have everything here. There's a button there. You'll never guess why, because there's a secret door. But I'll get back to that. I don't know if there's... Yeah, with cups and plates. I went through so many stacks, and I hand-named them cups and plates. Snow, hello! We're going over my old Minecraft world. Oh, yeah, this was when end rods were still, like, this was new. End rods, whoa. All 4 corners here have their own tower. Only 2 of them, I think at the far edge over here, had a slime block so that you could jump all the way down. Tiny me wouldn't have enough patience to build this. I didn't, which is why I built secret passages everywhere. And then there's these towers here. Of course, we bounced down here. Of course, you had to crouch and then take a butt ton of damage. Down here was the wine cellar. This was a surprise from my sister, who was like, don't go down there at all, because she worked so hard to make all of these pictures here that look like wine. So she worked so hard for this, and it was a huge surprise just for me, because we were working together on this build. Again, secret passage, because there has to be. I believe you close the secret passage with this. No, there's a second. No, wait. There it is. Oop. Nope, there was a secondary lever from inside the passage to open it from the inside, because I was kind of dumb with redstone. I didn't understand how to use like redstone torches at the time. All the towers are exactly the same. It just goes all the way up in all the 4 corners. Then we have this walkway over. We get these huge open windows, because why not? We have this courtyard here. This was a lake. And we just, like, went over the lake. A weird courtyard that there's not actually a way to walk over. Judging by the color of this water, it was a swamp. But we wanted to build, so what choice did we have? Acacia tree, because acacia trees grow in our castle. That's just how it works. Oop, there's just so much to show everybody. This was the Castle Forge, molten metal here, because this you throw the metal on the top and it melts and you work with it. Here's different sets of armor being worked on. You could see coal and wood. There's an anvil. We were going for a lot of detail if we could make it. There's this tiny little office here, right? So there's a bed and a cake. I don't know why. I don't remember what this office was for. If Vox was here, I would have her be doing a joint commentary with me, but she wasn't. And like I said, guys, secret passage everywhere. This one was kind of ugly. You had to walk over the mechanism. And again, it didn't really go anywhere. I wanted to light this, but it would burn everything down. So I just had this just cause I got bored. I didn't want to build the castle anymore, so I made a secret passage. That was what I did to cope with my ADHD, was not cope with ADHD and just do something different. And I believe most of these are sea lanterns. Yeah. That goes up somewhere. This goes somewhere. That's a random broken block. I think... No, I'm crazy. I thought that would go somewhere, but it didn't. This was, I believe we called this the Princess Tower. Because it was fancy. Just because it was fancy. And then there was this huge porch that Vox just made. There's some floating steps because in survival I want to be able to get up on top of the entire castle here, which is flat, but also there's windows, because there has to be. We'll go back down this tower. See this flag? Remember this flag. Flags are very important. Ooh, ladder? What? Oh, yeah, I'm dumb. Okay. That's only speed 3, but it's fine. The music in the background, how old is this world? I would guess close to 2012? Probably. I don't exactly remember. This was just an extra area. This is underneath the porch there. Again, I think we were going to make this be like a mage's room. Again, just a porch here. I feel so bad that I don't have more commentary for this area, because I know I'm going to come back at 40 and look at this and cry just a little bit. We never finished this area. It just goes out into the middle of nowhere. You know what happens when you take lava and you put it on a tree, and then it like flows down over the tree, and then you put water on it? Well, we did that and then decided that would be fun for some ruins. So we just have some ruins over here. There's probably like some poisonous potatoes and leather scraps. Yeah, there's some bread and rotten flesh. These ruins are also important. Remember that. Because I get bored a lot. And you know what happens when I get bored? Redstone. This... Oh, auto-saving in 3. Because this was Xbox 360. It automatically auto-saved all the time. Oh my gosh. This is really nostalgic for me. I really wanted to do this with my sister. Those runes remind me of the Warden update. Warden wasn't around when I was doing this. Speaking of wardens, this is actually hilarious. I believe this was supposed to be the warden's office, because it's a castle, there's a dungeon, there's a warden, and he had a way to look down on everybody, because that's what wardens do. If you go around here, you will see the prison. And most of this was taken like from Woodland Mansions, because Woodland Mansions were around. I think they had just come out, maybe. And again, it's just a toilet and a 2x2 room for all of them except for this one. That one goes somewhere. It literally just empties out. And yeah, I had to use green terracotta because it's a sewer. Can you swim in this one? You can. Okay, I wasn't sure. It goes somewhere. Oh, I'm stuck. Hold on. The water was flowing. I think if you follow this all the way down, I need to keep my night vision. Don't. No. It goes somewhere. Volk is the creator of the Warden. Yes, I really am. Yeah, Mojang called me up, was like, hey, we hacked into your thing. Oh, here it is. I'm dumb. And slow. Dumb and slow. That's my pronouns. Dumb and slow. And it goes underneath... Of course it goes underneath the prison, because we built the entire prison on a swamp. But it just goes out of the castle. That's the entire purpose. It's a prison and there's a way out. But, oh, I gotta get back. My mouth is gonna get so dry from speaking so much. This was the barracks where you would fill up all these chests, and this was a table because we didn't have a good way to make tables, but we did. We just didn't do it here. Of course, all of the many bunk beds you need. These were the bathrooms with colored water. Specifically, we decided, hey, we gotta put some colored water in there. Because this was when you could color water and then dye your clothes using the colored water. I think one of these were green at one point in time. You would definitely fall off the beds. Yes, no, that would happen. And of course, black stained glass over everything. I'm not going to get lost. I remember all of this like the back of my hand. This was the second courtyard, the actual courtyard with training. We had, I believe we had armor stands at the end, or it was the... No, I don't think the target blocks existed at this time. I don't think target blocks were a thing, and there's no search function on this. So target blocks didn't even exist when we were making this. So, yeah, of course, everything underneath this is a swamp. That's why the green gradient is so weird. There is no instant reset of the human brain from the fall. Yep. This is also a walkway directly from the ballroom here that goes all the way around, connects to the top of that tower. Whoa, what is this, folks? Streaming more than once in a month? I know. I am showing everybody my Minecraft world from ages ago. Like, I'm 46. This was when I was, like, 12. This was a while ago. This is the pathway that just goes back to the ballroom here. That's what this entire thing is. Again, this flag. Remember this flag. That's an important flag. It looks insane for a 12-year-old. Or give that credit to my sister. I just did the redstone. She did the design. I helped with some of the design. Giant windows. This was the throne room. Of course, we had statues with a sword and a mace, a lantern, because there's mages. There's, I believe those are, like, tridents, or, like, just more staffs. And, of course, the throne here for you to look down upon the whelps that are your poor people, your peasants. This was the ICU, which we never finished, ever. Again, flags are important, but I don't think these ones are. That just goes up, again, more unfurnished area. This was a hospital area, because castles have hospitals. Yeah, that was the flag for the hospital. Again, we wanted to just, like, give a lot of aura to everything here. Different rooms in here for the hospitals. That one just doesn't have a window, because lame. The glass overhead is red and white for, you know, that's what healing stuff is. Red and white equals healing. Ooh. It's very nostalgic. Again, this is just another area. I don't know why this was a thing. We just were like, yo, we're gonna do this now, and then we did it. I think that's Netherrack. No, we actually turned, hold on. Oop, that's not it. This is when you had host options. We turned fire spreads off, so fire doesn't do anything at all. But if we turn fire spreads on, so many of our things would burn down. So many of our things. But the reason this fire isn't disappearing, despite being on stone, is because it can't disappear, because fire is all stagnant. Reading area, you know, just a hearth. These are more towers with a lot of rooms that I don't think we ever furnished. All of them are connected. And of course there's 3 towers, 2 small ones, and then a big one. We saved this world, and then we would spend hours and hours chasing each other around on it, on survival, and you just had to kill the other person. Because there was just so much you could do and run from. Nobody could find me, because I had secret passages everywhere. This was, again, just an unfinished area. What is this sign? 5 blocks higher than the wall. Yeah, so we were working together with like signs, putting it down so that we could figure out what are we building next, how are we doing this. I don't remember what this was. It ended up just being a way that we could get into the castle in survival. This, for anybody that wasn't here when we started, this was the spawn point where you start, because you would invite people to your world from playing Spleef and fighting. The world is called Oreos, which is why there's a giant Oreo in the middle, and why above the castle it just says Oreos. You can go back to the beginning of this video and you'll find the reason. So this was the castle. Why the Oreos? There was a story about that when my sister and I first made this. There was a story about a man who stole 5 pounds of Oreos from a church camp, and we were like, that's flippin' hilarious. This is an island off in the middle of nowhere labeled Inventor's Island. Simply because anytime I wanted to build something, we would just put it right here and we would build stuff. There's just a bunch of different ways, like here's a slime piston jump. We were trying to figure out how we can get an achievement for going really fast with an elytra. We were going to try through here. We ended up realizing the fastest way to do it is to just fall straight down, but with an elytra active. This was me working out a notch door where you press the lever and then it opens like that, because that means we didn't need a corner. We could just have a straight wall. Whoop. Like that. And I felt so amazing at it. I was like, I did this. My legacy is complete because I managed to do something like that. Here's a little place. We would line this up like that, and then we would be like, guess where I'm at? And we're like, well, there's nothing in the background to figure out where. Psych, it's only half a building. We were using this to figure out a way to kill mobs and then collect their remains. What is that? Glowstone dust. That is glowstone dust when it was pea yellow. Again, working on how we can activate different things. You know, if you push this down, that happens. Redstone was so buggy. I was trying to figure out how to set it so that if I turn this to different angles, it would turn off, so that I could make a combination lock later. This was, you would have, if you were watching, you would have seen this in the castle when I was trying to make a way to look like lava was flowing to make molten metal. This was us experimenting for the ruins out by the castle. We realized we could fly into there and make a weird tunnel. I think... Yes, that was what we were working on for the prison where we were going to make toilets, but with a button where the toilet would disappear and then come back. This was another contraption where you flip the lever and all of the pistons would ideally contract and then make a completely solid wall no longer solid so that you could just walk straight through. We were really excited about so much of this. We were working on different designs for everything we did. I don't know what was in these dispensers. I completely forget. I think it was going to be armor, or this was going to be windows, and there was something going to be through them. I couldn't tell you in the slightest. This comes up later when we look at the dwarven part of the entire place. Again, this was a different... Wait, I don't know what this is. This looks like it was an attempt on a trap or a door. I don't remember at all. Again, there was just so many different things. Why is there a llama here? Oh, this was an attempt at doing a door, like a gate. I wanted to figure out how I can make a piston go forward. Let me try this. Oop. Right, so I was trying to figure out how to make a gate so that people walking could walk up to a gate and it would close and it would open. I had no clue how to do it, and I still kind of don't. Working on different designs for everything. Again, just redstone everywhere because I was a nerd. Well, I say was, still am. And this was just Invention Island, where we didn't have to worry about the entire theme of what we were building. Over here was the village, and you'll notice there's a huge church. Somebody mentioned a church later. We did make a church. This is the Ranger's hideout because we read a book called Ranger's Apprentice. Flag, important. And in all of these chests would be Ranger stuff, where you have swords and poison arrows and leather armor because Rangers wear light armor, potions of jumping. Flags are important. There is a church. In this church, actually, we had to make sure all of the books were facing up, like this, because they don't naturally get put in an item frame like that. I don't think I put any redstone stuff in this church, but we just wanted to have a church. There's a library here because it's a village. They need a library. Why normal apples? Why no golden apples? Because it's Rangers. Where would they get gold? They're poor. They're athletic. I don't know. Again, just a villager house. We actually had villagers walking around. We still might. Signpost so that you could figure out where you were, except for this doesn't tell you where you are. I think this was before banners appear on map, because I think they used to be able to. Again, just different houses. This was a house specifically made and then burnt down because it was made off of that one town in Skyrim. I think it was called Morthal, where there was just a house that was burned down. It was part of a quest. I think there was something to make banners appear on map. Yes. Again, house. This was an academy for smithing, potion making, and then just a room. We were homeschoolers. We didn't know what it looked like to go to school. So obviously, iron bars made of stone. Nothing to sit on. Just desks. Because school was of the devil. That classroom is about right. Glad to hear it. There is a farm. Again, it's just a house, just a prison. Yeah. Carrots, potatoes, beets, wheat, with your little farm animals, and I don't remember. That was probably the spot where the chickens sit, the roosting spot. Then they had access to water, and cows are lame, so they get none of it, and they starve to death. Stay there, sheep. So yeah, That was our village. And remember what I said about flags? This is part of it. See, there's a villager. Yeah, see, I'm not crazy. I don't know what that's about. Well, that's not a nitwit, actually. Looking at this, not a nitwit, because nitwits didn't exist yet. That's an actual normal villager. I don't think there's anything for them to do, though. You can't trade with them, because it's kind of a nitwit. This was the wizard's hut. There's usually flags in here. I don't know why there's not. We had wands, looting sharpness, unbreaking, fire aspect, knockback. This is when you could enchant random things with anything. Oh, what's in my inventory? Frostwalker? Yeah, there's Frostwalker, Riptide, flags. Of course, you know, you got all of the enchanting books and lapis lazuli so that you can do enchanting, because it's a wizard's tower. This is just, that's what the wizards did. And hello, hi. Okay, yeah, cartographer. You found the people by the color of their clothes. Cartographer was white. He doesn't have a job. Where's that pink guy? Yo, pink dude, where you at? There you are. Do you trade anything? Yes, that's the cleric. I think they still had tables, so there's probably like a map table around here somewhere. Well, there's a brewing stand. And again, just out in the middle of nowhere, we need dwarves, flags. Remember the flags. There's a reason for the flags. Just a dwarven area. Again, based off of different things in Skyrim. Thanks for the tour so far. I'll watch the rest later. I'll see you later, man. Have a great one. That's the Arkenstone, I believe we called it. Again, dwarves. So there's just metal and coal and different, and they're their own faction, so they have their own tools that do different things. But they also have their own big area later that we'll get into. And this was the village. All of these are different structures, just as the castle was one single structure. But this was the village. And of course, the church without a fireplace needs to have a chimney made out of spider webs. 'Cause duh. That's just how that works. Peak fantasy. Lord of the Rings was a lot of stuff that we based this off of. Okay, so this is back to the ship. See this arch? Just because I'm pretty sure. I'm 100% sure it's around here somewhere. Was it down here? Yep. Nether portal, because I wanted to try and make a nether portal network across the entire world, because it was not infinite. Sup, gang, who's ready to mess with the Volkipoo? Hello, dragon. I'm showing everybody Oreos, the world I made with Vox. And we're going over the entire thing, and I just want to be able to look at this later when I'm 40 and older. I mean, younger. This music. Okay, going back to these ruins that I mentioned to everybody a while ago, I said, remember these ruins. This is gonna go onto a long-standing thing here, because these ruins were the start of the Thieves Guild. See, this looks completely normal. We can look at this chest. It doesn't have anything in it because somebody stole everything. But tripwire, hidden area, redstone. It's everywhere. Slide blocks underneath the carpet, because of course there is. Flags. Remember those. It's important. This is the Thieves Guild, one of their bases. This goes to the tree. This one, I don't remember where that one goes. We'll find out eventually. That goes to a hidden base off in the middle of nowhere, I believe. This one goes to the wine cellar in the castle. That area I mentioned when I was going through the wine cellar in the castle, that's the area that this goes to. And that's the village. Just because I am documenting this for myself and not for everybody else, I'm just gonna have to go through and see everything, because I know if I don't, I'll look back at this entire video later and feel upset. Hidden area, no use, just wanted to do it. This entire area, by the way, despite being covered with lava, is absolutely dark. I'm not using minecart, flying is faster. And, like, it just does nothing, I think. Yeah, this area, I don't believe goes anywhere. But I could be completely wrong. Where does this go? Where do you go? What is your... Completely under... This is just underneath the castle. That's just the entire purpose of the... I made secret areas when you old man, use the minecarts, respect... Okay, next time we go on a rail, I will use the minecarts. I'm never going on another rail. Again, you'd think the lava would light this up, but no, just complete darkness. Boop. Oh, that blocks that area, because of course you need to block that area. This blocks that. So if I close this here, that should close like that. So, I'm just gonna break it because I want to be able to look at it. So, completely normally, it just looks like this. There are torches missing on purpose, so that you would never expect there to be hidden things. Our entire thing was invite people to the world, and then appear out of nowhere, because we thought that was hilarious. Again, flip that, opens back up. One of the things here, because this is back in the castle and the wine cellar, one of the things here is ballroom, right? The flags. This is the stairway that leads back to that throne room I mentioned. Well, again, just 'cause secret entrance that leads all the way back to that area underneath the wine. Or right next to the wine. This is when they still had a minecart with a furnace. Oop. We're gonna go the slow way. We're not gonna go the slow way. I think I broke a redstone torch at one point. See, this is okay for how fast it is, but flying is just way faster. I think this was full of minecarts. It's no longer. This leads to the village, and you might be asking, what? How does it lead to the village? I didn't see any Thieves Guild stuff by the village. It's because it was hidden. It was a little... Oh, Lord. And of course, you gotta get suffocated to do anything. And chest with carts. This is a secret area inside of a secret area. You press the button, door opens. This, more minecarts. This lever, Invention Island. The entire time I was going through Invention Island, this little area was just here. You might look at that now and go, huh, that's suspicious. Trees don't grow like that. That's true. Why'd you make the minecart tunnels be so short? Because the entire point was to get from point A to point B, not to make them really long, and they get longer, trust me. Again, open area. This was a practice range for the Assassin's Guild. Flags. There's a dog. Didn't name them, cause... Oh, you mean the ceiling? Man, we were 12, we didn't care. This was the pit. The entire idea was that, as a punishment, you would be kicked in there for betraying the Thieves Guild, and you couldn't see anything, because after you close the door, there's no light, and you're trapped. This was the planning room, and there are factions for this entire place. Like I've shown you, there's rangers, there's dwarves, there's wizards, there's the castle, which didn't get their own armor, because I'm weird. This is the Thieves Guild faction. I need to get some water, actually. And they have their own stuff. TNT, invisibility, because 3 minutes, not 8, because why? their own armor and daggers, which I named daggers specifically. Potions of luck, because thieves. This is a completely normal wall. Beds, anvils, and whatnot, because, you know, everything needs a thing, except for, boop, secret entrance. Who saw that coming? And this led to a giant area we were still working on. And we would listen to Cat all the time. Like, Cat was our main thing. Like, we were just like, hey, we're here. We're gonna listen to Cat. I just put secrets everywhere. Not because there's any reason, I was just bored. I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna go get a drink because I'm going to be talking a lot. I'm not even halfway through this place. Give me one moment, guys. And thus, he has come back with 2 bottles of water and the driest substance known to man, a pretzel. Because I'm hungry. Don't judge me. Would I like some lemon juice? Let me see if I have lemon juice, okay? Alright, guys. I have lemon juice. Me in 40 years, when I'm 80, you better appreciate the feeling that it feels that I feel now to be able to ruin all of my enamel. All for the help of Risky Rice Krispie, 08 Dragon, and Shepherd. I guess Tarkin was here, but he's left. Alright. I have a canker sore at the same time. Like always, I end up dripping it all over my face. Because why not? Inflation is rough. Inflation? That too. Alright, I didn't need that waterfall that fell down. It's fine. Now my mouth is not dry anymore. Because once you take a shot of lemon juice, man, do it just saliva everywhere. It's awful. Alright. I'm going to get some water, what I left to do. Here we go again. Now, we last left off in this little assassins thing. It's going to autosave again. Secret entrance. Because I need a secret entrance or I'm suppressed as a human being. Alright. Lemon juice doesn't taste that bad, man. I don't mind lemon juice, but I have to make it funny for everybody else. Now, random entrance in the middle of nowhere. Just right. Is it right there? No, it's not right there. Where's it at? Right there. I get distracted. I actually planted a jungle tree there so that I would remember where the entrance was. And right next to the village. This was how I would fight over the entire server, because there's literally railways everywhere across the server. So I could get to the village, to that entrance, to inside the castle, to somewhere else. Speaking of, I showed everybody the kitchen in the castle, right? Right here, you can see this kitchen here. I mentioned it earlier, and I want to like move on away from the castle and not just stay within the same 400 blocks. There's a little button over there in the corner. You might not see it, but it's like right there. That button connects to another button here, which goes all the way in, I believe, this direction here. I think I built this for a reason, just to be a distraction for that. Where does this go? Who knows? I don't. That's for sure. Because I am forgetful. Oop. Secret entrance! Nobody saw it coming. I didn't even see that coming. I completely forgot where that one went. But you break through that way. You get through here. You run down through this entire completely normal hallway with completely normal amount of corners. You run through here. You didn't want to use the railway. You're getting chased. What you do? You walk up to this rock wall. I believe it was right here. Press the stone button, get slightly suffocated. That's fine. Concussions are for nerds. Kitchen wall. Walk over here. Press the lever. Walk out. You're in the kitchen. So you press the lever. Pistons come back out. This one I had to, like, time. Like, I had to make it wait so that you could get through and it wouldn't just immediately start and then immediately close. So that was a fun invention. All right. Boop. And that's the castle, the village, and we started the Assassins, or the Thieves Guild, and then there's Inventions Island. We saw a little bit of the dwarves. We saw the spawn point. It's Oreos. Now what we're gonna do next is we're gonna look at the fairies. That's the tree, by the way. No, wait. This is the tree. We made multiple huge trees, just cause. I think there was a way to get in the tree. I think you have to flip that lever and then that lever. Yep. And then there's just a way to go down and through and up into the tree. And that leads all the way down to, of course, there has to be, like, lava. How much free time did we have? We were 12 and homeschoolers. We had plenty of free time. That goes all the way back to the base that I talked about with the sign that said tree. Well, and it's with, yeah. This is not even minecart. We're not going through the rail. We got stuff to talk about. So, of course, if there's going to be a giant tree, you got to make a second one so that nobody suspects you of having secret entrances. Completely normal house, just here for no reason. We wanted to design stuff, so we got to it. This is the fairy areas. This is only accessible by the water and the elytra. No beds, because fairies are nerds. Grass floor, because it's a short house. Again, get to it through water. This is the building. We got a little ladder down here and a bed, and of course elytra, because a fairy. And of course, because they're fairies, they just have to have a thing holding the little fairy house. Like that, like based off of like bird feeders. This is the big fairy area, and all of these things are connected. Of course, there's elytras in every single one of them because they're fairies. There's a way to get into the inside and get up from the bottom to get into the inside. The fairy area is so whimsical. I know. So here's a fun thing. This is ice. I'm around ice. Okay? This is glass. This is water. You can see the ladder. Here's a fun interaction. Where'd the ladder go? Yeah, it's just weird. Ladders just disappear if you put them on a transparent block and then you view them through water. It just does that. Where am I? Okay. So yeah. Ferry area with the blue beds. I think they also had a flag, but I think we removed it so that we could put flags elsewhere. Flags. Remember flags. This was just another random... ignore that. This is just another random tree. I don't think there was anything inside this tree. I think this was just an experiment. I think we actually, like, tried flying through, like, little areas in the tree. Like, right there. Big tree. This was one of our later builds. Like, this was the closest to the last build. We were playing a game, I think, called Northgard, around this time. And this is, like, a Chinese... slash Viking inspired, because there's a longhouse here, because, you know, consistency is for the weak. This was the longhouse. We had storage, we had beds, lots of design. I helped with about 40% of design for the entire thing, and Vox, or Vexus, did the rest of it. She did the other half. I built a lot, she designed a lot. Again, huge houses. Here's where we had stables. I think this is the only actual stables in the entire thing. And this is we had cream and cookies because it's Oreos. We needed cream and cookies. And this was when you could paint your leather horse armor. So of course we did. And we have, you know, stables upstairs, because that's where you put horses. This house happened to... I don't think we actually, like... There's a lot of that we didn't decorate. We just built the house and we moved on. The horse is upstairs because I built the stable specifically, so I wanted an upstairs stable. I was 13 at the time. You might say, oh, Volt, you said 12. I aged. We played on this server a lot. You were probably still in diapers, if you were even alive. How is it strong enough? Because it uses really good wood. Good wood. That's normal, ignore that. This house, again, not furnished. But, I believe... unless I'm completely crazy, which I might be, that happens. I don't think it's this house. It might be a different house somewhere. Maybe where was the house? I don't know where the house was. I'll probably find the house later. This one, almost definitely. I know I definitely put a redstone thing around here. But I don't remember where I put it, to be completely honest. It was probably somewhere in here. I could probably, like, put off a TNT to explode this and figure out. And honestly, I'm not gonna do that. That would ruin the... It would ruin the memory. Tree, go back. Was it on the tree? Am I crazy? It was on the tree. You're right. It was probably... Where was it at? Right here? Oh, right there. Good catch, Dragon. Whoop. Secret area. Whoop. And this... Okay, it did go to a different house. I knew this. I knew this. I'm not crazy. Boop. Ooh. Hold on. Okay. That wasn't it. I think I might have dug that out because I was like, oh, I gotta figure out where I am, and then I dug that. Why are the torches in frames? because I think you used to be able to put a torch on a frame and then put a stone slab on the torch to do different things. Maybe it's at the end of this. Oop, did I just come from here? I did not. Okay. I knew it was this house. I was wrong. This is the wrong house. I thought it was that house. This was the house. Here. Alright, hold on. Sticky piston. Boom. Grass block. Boom. Boop. I just do it like that. And of course there's a ring of ferns, so you know you're in the circle. You press it. You go down. It's slime box. Where did this go? Oh, this went to the big one. This went to the... There was... Of course, there's not, like, a good way to get around here. This was another drop in, but it all fed to a... Oh, wait. See, I'm learning more. Volk, what's the version? I don't remember the version, to be honest. Where is this from? Who are you? What? Alright, where was this button? I would have placed... Yeah, right there. Okay. Need cobblestone this time. Boop. Sticky piston. Cobblestone. See, there was so many. Right? So this is in here. You just, boop. Press that. Fall down. Secret area. I completely forgot that I put entrances in all of the buildings except for one, I think. Was it over? Nope, I'm dumb. A lot of falling, yeah, especially in this one. Then you could sprint through here and get out safely. Whoop. This, even this big building with the Jade Dragons out front here had its own, yeah. Had its own trap. Like, all of the buildings, except for the one that I thought it was in, had its own mechanism. That's kind of a dumb on my part. I know that over in this area here, we have a nether portal. I think this is the only official nether portal we made. We didn't end up doing a whole lot. It was near the end. It goes to this bridge. That goes down this entire tunnel here. I remember making this entire tunnel by hand. This is not a natural tunnel. I made this tunnel. All of the different blocks and everything, dug out, placed, the gravel, the andesite, all of it. Placed its own natural, not natural tunnel, unnatural tunnel. And I just made that because I was like, hey, this is what I want to do. Because why not? Just because. Lol. And of course, I have to add, and I designed this bridge. This bridge was my design, so Vox, you stay away from this. She made that thing, I think. But I just really liked making old, decaying designs, which is why I had this old, like, it's barely held up by literally anything. It's graying, it's overgrown, it's breaking. That was just that's just what I wanted to do. Like, because it added, you know, a clean surface doesn't show age or story or character, so I just wanted to add more to it by taking away what's there. You'll see that a lot in a bunch of different things. This here was the safe area for us as creators. This is an entire, like, tiny little castle completely covered in bedrock. And this was, Volk, there was a trident on that world, right? No tridents. So this was a bedrock box, because you could choose a player and you could teleport them here and cover them up in bedrock if we ever had a troublesome visitor. And of course, Cat is in the jukebox, because it has to be. There's the rogues, the royals, the fairies, the Frost Kingdom, Dawnguard, rangers, dwarves, and the pirates. There's pirates! All of these... man, I forget. Oh, I honestly forget when this was happening. Frost Kingdom? Yeah, there's a Frost Kingdom. And there's flags for all of these things. Rogues, fairies. That one was for the royals, and then the rangers, and the dwarves, and the Dawnguard, and the pirates were here. These were the vampires, because there's vampires as well. This was for the Frost Kingdom. And then there was a dragon flag, because Vox was like, dragon flag, yo. We had them all lined up, and we labeled all of them here. Of course, we needed to have a table, its own nether portal, so you could get in from a different area. Don't ask me why we had a ender chest full of pufferfish eggs, because that was smart. It was smart to use pufferfish eggs in combat, because people would be like dodging. You just throw down pufferfish eggs, and no matter what you do, you take damage and you get poisoned. So that was a great thing to use against people. And chest plate with protection and feather falling and just like everything. You could get blast protection and normal protection and like everything on these things. You could put flame on a wooden hoe and fire aspect on a stone hoe, and efficiency. Like, it was just, you could do anything you want. What's in here? More flags. Because we just needed flags, and we couldn't put them down, because if we put them down anywhere, it would count as an entity, and Xbox 360 would be like, nah, you can't have that many entities. So yeah, we just had flags for every single different faction out there. We actually have a series of villages that we make throughout of it. We have the village, which I've shown you. Then we have Thornkeep, Witchwood, and Quinaria. And we'll see all of those, hopefully. This was the to-do list that we had here. Design and finish Erebor, the the dwarvish stronghold. Finish orcs, because there were orcs. Finish elves, because we didn't. Add to Witchwood. Complete Quinaria. Finish or remove the pirates. Finish Thornkeep. Decorate the castle, because it's huge and there was so much to decorate. More houses in the village. Finish the fairies. And finish Evrenthal. Like, we were working on this a lot. There's another map. Off in this direction... I don't remember what we called this. There's a watchtower. I built this watchtower. My choice. Erebor, yes, like the Dwarven City. You could tell I built this watchtower because, you know, it's overgrown and there's detail. We, of course, like, turtles were new, so we needed a turtle area. Boat. Just 'cause. There was a dock. I think this was for, like, fishing. What's in here? A chest. Yeah, for fishing. Because they didn't have barrels yet. Barrels did not exist. This was a water tower. Yep, I'm so smart. This was a lumber mill based off of the lumber mill in Riverwood from Skyrim. So these are different logs. This was the saw. Of course, the saw had to be red, and this thing would push the logs into the saw. If you press this, something would happen. I believe it was... And of course, here I want a detail. And I'm like, okay, so it's a water wheel. Let's show it wet. So the top half is dry, and the bottom half is wet. Did the saw hurt somebody? Why is it red? Shh. Don't tell anybody. And of course, to add to the detail, jungle plains, only slightly wet. The lever, of course, because I needed a secret entrance, goes inside, which, of course, we decorate with pumpkins. Vox at the time, one of her themes was that she wore a pumpkin head. Or that she had a pumpkin head. That was just one of her themes. I think this might have been Quinaria or something. I really don't remember the name. That's why I wanted to get Vox's commentary on the entire thing. And I know that right here... random cave, huh? Doop. Light steps, cause why not? And... Oop, I believe it was in here somewhere. Here. Alright, that one goes down. Now, if you've been watching for a while, you would remember I mentioned a slime jump at the Inventor's Isle. I was testing that for this in specific, because this is a fall onto a slime block, and then the slime block is supposed to jump you back up so that you can get out. That's why it's covered in obsidian, or it would just push all the obsidian. Coal blocks, because this was going to be the vampire's lair. And again, we had to add just a little bit of loot. This was, I think this was a natural cave system that I expanded. This was, again, the vampires were just me, and to make sure nobody could get to you, there was one and then a second lock to make sure nobody could jump down. I believe if you step on this here... Oop. Yeah. Slime jump. Now, here's a fun thing. I mean, this is a fun thing here, where it's just a... This, I believe, goes back to a... Well, I don't know where it goes back to. Where does this go? I think this was just put there for effect. Like... This goes somewhere, but it doesn't actually go anywhere. So I didn't open that up. That's just random. Lava. Now, one of the things about this is, again, secret entrance to your secret entrance. What's that? That's lava. What's the lava for? For this secret entrance. Because if you wait, this entire room is very dark, by the way, because vampires have night vision, and I didn't forget to light everything. But lava pours over, secret entrance, hidden. Nobody knows it's there. I'm gonna put this on YouTube later so that I can watch it over and over again. Sorry, brother just came in. Go all the way through here. Oh, hidden area. I gotta turn this lava off. Hold on. And of course, you have to flick this lever twice so that you turn it off and then you turn it back on so the bucket scoops the lava back up. There was also their own... Yo, was that Vox? No, actually, that was Valiant Heart. If you've been watching the channel for a long time, you might have seen him slightly. That's one out of many siblings. Remember this wall. Man, lava flows a long time. Just like, whoa. Oh my gosh. That's it. I'm going in there. Whoop. Again, just another unfurnished area. I believe this is like a freaky circle. Just a litter. I remember Vox better. Yeah, usually does. Usually people do because she's a woman. Now this here, again, another slime block jump that I don't know works. No, the slime block is stuck. That's rough. But extra way out right here. Because I needed a way to do all this while I was in survival. Perfect. Those light up stairs here, literally just because I thought that was cool. It has nothing to do with the vampires. No, just for that, the old times when you started streaming. Ah. Alright. Random cavern we did nothing with ever. Man, I miss flying using a controller. Now, this entire building was 80-90% Vox. She did all of the design. Well, not all of the design. Most of the design. I helped her after a bit. You have the open foyer. I think we called this like the murder mansion or something. One of my favorite parts about this, actually, was... That's not what I needed. These stained glass windows. Stained glass window panes. Here's the important part about panes and this version. When you take an ender pearl, you teleport onto the pane, you can just go through it. So people would be chasing me, I run up to the pane, throw down the ender pearl if I'm good, and you just teleport through it. They can't chase you. They don't have an ender pearl. That was one of my favorite parts about this place. Enter not lest your exchange be equivocated. If you know what this is from, you're smart and you're a big good and you got the good stuff. If you don't know what it's from, get a life. Okay, we had this huge table, and of course we had a back porch with a grill, and this, I believe, was a hammock. Or is that a Bible thing? It's not a Bible thing. That's a hammock. See, guys, you look at that and you just think, ah, hammock. Makes sense. I don't know what was going on here. I am genuinely confused. It was probably just a table. Ignore that pressure plate. It's normal. I don't know if any of these things are things you can jump through. No, didn't think so. Because on the other side, yeah, just nothing. And of course, you know, a big mansion needs a kitchen and a pantry. That just a normal pantry. What's the pressure plate do? Nothing. That's just a normal pressure plate that just exists. Has nothing to do with me getting bored. This is just a weird area that is underneath the open area here. This is, again, just a random random pressure plate. Normal pressure plate. Does absolutely nothing. These were actually slightly furnished. Almost kind of slightly furnished. Almost all of these rooms. And I have to make sure I look at all of these rooms so that when I look back at this, I don't feel sad. Yes, with the tall ceilings. One thing that Vox and I have noticed after a long time of playing with her is that when we play Minecraft, she hates short ceilings. If she can't jump a good 4 blocks, absolutely in pain. It's like psychic damage. We'll get to that pressure plate eventually, you know. I'm gonna be honest, this was the time when we started listening to, watching, whatever you call it, Miraculous Ladybug. See you later, Dragon. Have a great one. So there's going to be a short reference to it later. We also played Skyrim a lot while playing this. And a lot of this is based off of Skyrim. Oh, what's in you? The random junk. Nope. Now, if you know this, if you cause Ladybug cause this, that's just a tiny little thing there. Now, you might have seen the ladders in the other room just randomly up against the wall. That's because there would be a way to jump onto the ladders from a secret hidden area up there. Now, one of the reasons we had a lot of trouble building such big buildings was because there would always be a lot of empty area. A lot of empty area, which would cause mobs to spawn. And mob spawning is awful. Like, this entire big area with completely normal amounts of space would be so awful to spawn. And there's an ender chest in here, so that when I am the leader of the world, I can access my ender chest. I'm sure that this appeared somewhere on the server, not server, the Invention Island. This was a way to get into a different area, actually. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going crazy here. Let's do this. Boop. Yep. This is a secret entrance within another secret entrance. By the way, you're old. This version is before 1.1.3. I know. Boom. And this goes back to the pantry. All right, now time for that pressure plate that Risky was asking about. We gotta step on this one, not the other one. My favorite part is it always closes afterwards because it's a pressure plate. That'll explain what we're doing. Ignore why there's grass blocks in there. We built this entire thing on creative. This area would lead to ladders. That would lead to the ladders down there so that we could get down without taking fall damage because we fought each other on survival. Now, the way this works is that you step on this, and then you... Hold on. You step on this. No, wait. I'm wrong. Shoot that. Shoot that. Jump through the table into this area. Again, secret entrance because I got bored. I don't think I ended up making a... Did I? No, I don't think I finished. I don't think I finished the mechanism for making a secret entrance in this way. I forgot how to make a notch door. But it was supposed to lead to a waterfall, which goes all the way up here. And it just, I had to make a secret entrance. I was bored. Well, I had to make like 8. And again, spiderwebs, because chimney. This house here was based off of a house in Skyrim. Can't remember what it was called. Heljarken Hall. You might remember it if you played Skyrim. You might not if you didn't. Milk up on the hearth. We had swords that we named, and then we put on these racks here because this is just what it is. There's the Wabbajack, Dawnbreaker, and this is Dragonbane, just different weapons from Skyrim. And we based this entire manor, even though it's quite cramped. We just based it off of Skyrim, and there's milk up here because we wanted to put milk up there. 2. Okay, moving on. This is the elves. Not the rangers, but the elves. The elves have their own forest area. You can tell that I made this because of all the detail. And by detail, I mean it's kind of broken inside and whatnot. This was a tavern, of course, because, you know, every good medieval area needs a tavern. We didn't finish because I got bored and I wanted to go make more hidden areas. Of course, there has to be an upstairs patio and a way onto the roof, because why not? And there is this is real village, by the way. This here, actual Spruce Village. It existed before we made everything else, and then we made everything else nearby. More village houses. This entire walkway to get up to this other tree house. Again, just... holy cow. So much detail. We were amazing at 12. This too, so much detail. So we were so good at this game. This was a fun bridge to build right here. And I use redstone torches a lot to add a little bit of light, but not overwhelming amounts of light, because they just let off a small amount. I don't know if I have seen set night. Let me drink some milk. Yeah, so it's just a little bit of light to be able to see through here. And of course, this is a bridge so that you could get all the way across. Question, did you ever finish the game? We'll get to that. There's a lot we didn't finish in this game. And of course, there's a stairway down made out of tree to build this. As if you're asking me myself, did I finish the game on survival? That is something I've done. In this world, we never finished this world. That's why the to-do list still had stuff on it. There was this thing, again, unfinished, but we were working on it. We had things. I liked war. So here's an entire thing here. And I'm pretty sure I made little people. You can see the flags. Flags are important. Now, what you might also see here is there's, like, broken bits. But I believe I made... these broken bits have, like... context. Okay, so here's one of the catapult things. It smashed through this tree here, landed over there. There was supposed to be another one here. I don't remember where that one was supposed to land. But also there are I forget what they're called. These things here, these explosive things being bombarded down here. Here we can see a broken catapult that the elves had, because elves use catapults, duh. We can see this tree here was exploded, taking out nearby areas. The area is on fire. Again, we can't turn fire off and crystals, that's the thing. If we turn fire off, everything would burn down. It was so much effort to put all of these end crystals in the air, because it's not like you could just walk up to the air and be like, boop, end crystal. No, you had to build something, and if you ever messed up, it exploded. This here is a castle base. Also getting attacked by the elves. You can see there's a broken down catapult here. I think this was the Frost Kingdom, but not completely Frost Kingdom. This had its own name. On the catapults here, through the catapult things, and these mages here through the end crystals. This here was Quinn Ice Castle. And Quinn Ice Castle, let me play a song for you real quick. I don't know if y'all can hear the music in the background, but I can, and that's what matters. Quinn Ice Castle is from a game we grew up playing called Aviond. I'm gonna turn the sound up really high here, and I'm gonna play the music to Quinn Ice Castle. And that's my childhood. That's like a deep core of just a of nostalgic childhood right in the middle. I'm making this for me. I'm also making this for Vox because we're gonna go over this later. Because if we don't, it's gonna be it's just so much. It doesn't ring a bell. I know it was rare. Actually, you can get the entire like Avion game, like all 7 of the games for $5 on Steam. Actually, hold on. Um, I don't know. I'm doing this on the fly, so hold on. Avion. That's not how you spell that. Avion. I am smart, big smart. AVE. I'm going somewhere with this. Well, when I bought it at least, I got it for about $5. Box is gonna make you finish the World Trust. That's not happening. It's just not happening at all. I'm just gonna display my monitor, so don't dox me. I'm kidding. You probably can't. I know this is going off the rails, but I need to do this because this is me. Boop. Avion, Gates of Night, the entire Avion saga, Lord of Twilight, Gates of Light, Lost Orb, Darkthrust Prophecy, and Shadows of the Mist, which is not actually part of it, but that's not even all the Avion games. There's still Avion 1 and 2, because this is Avion 3 with all 4 games, and then Avion 4. And it's like $40, well, $50, and you don't even get the first 2. I don't even know if I own the first 2. Anyways, lots of nostalgia. But, we go back. All right. So, that was Quinn Ice Castle. Also, under attack, you can see more guys here getting hit by catapults that are flaming. Also under attack by the pirates. This was the pirate area. Volk, do you remember the old wool lampposts and villages? I do. I'm pretty sure that's what I put the the maps on. It was black wool and it had torches all over it. This was the pirate outpost that I made. Again, catapults, where you dig the area, shows that the catapults were being moved. You had to farm it. There's just signs, just cuz. There's even a pathway through this area where the pirates were that led to their pirate ship. I don't know. Does this go somewhere? Apparently this goes somewhere. Guys, I don't remember this at all. This is new. I must have been working on this, and I had completely forgotten. Do you... Yep. Okay, that was cool. I put a lot of work into that, probably. Well, but... that's the pirates there. There's actually, I remember, again, off in this side here, there is a... I know it's here. I know it's here. I'm just crazy. Oop. Is it in this cave? I doubt it would be in this cave. But I also know it just exists, because it does. Nope. If you don't know what I'm talking about... don't worry, it exists and you don't know about it. There is somewhere in here, probably a secret area, but I don't know where the button is or where the area starts. And there is a I wish Fox was here. There's an end crystal. There's an end crystal in this mountaintop somewhere. This is Witchwood. Witchwood also had its own soundtrack from Avion. And the Witchwood soundtrack was... probably... there we go. So it was all about witches. Of course, we were pure children. Of course, you got little pumpkins, you got weird trees, you got all sorts of just weird stuff. There's an alchemy shop down there. Again, just random loot. There was a shop here. I don't think there was anything in the shop. Again, based on Avion, because... yeah. I think that's luck or jump potion, not actual poison, because poison does not... that's health. Poison does not show up well in a cauldron. It just looks weird and murky and green. Again, library, it's witches. They have to have some kind of literature. This was a pet shop with stuff that... I think it was a pet shop. No, it was a normal shop. I'm trying to remember that there was an actual layout to this village. It wasn't just weird and... of course, they grow pumpkins and netherwort on just a random patch of land in the middle of nowhere. And that was Witchwood. I'm pretty sure I primarily am the one who built Witchwood. Totally safe stairs. Yeah, the stairs are immaculate. Amazing. Amazing stairs. Don't let anybody tell you differently. Hey, Volk, ready for some lemon juice? I don't see any lemon juice, so I don't think I'm ready for that. What is this? This was stand on the podzol and press/flip. Boop. Yeah, it was a trap. This was a trap I made. I know I made this because nobody would be stupid enough to stand on the podzol and switch that flip, or flip that switch. I guess I'm doing lemon juice again, guys. And I struggled to find a good angle for this because I don't know where the camera is in position of where I am. The square hole, yeah. Again, it just dribbles everywhere. It's all over my mustache. It's awful. Again, Witchwood, pretty sure, had their own... it's in that canker sword. Witchwood had its own flag. As did this area here, the Dawnguard, which... that's another portal. Dawnguard, based off of another Skyrim reference, because you gotta have Skyrim references. There we go. I told you, if you put a torch down on top of an item frame and you stick a stone slab on it, then it looks like it's a torch sconce. Sconce? I don't remember. I did mention it earlier, though. Where is invisibility? Does it exist? One would think... oh, yeah, you could also get potions of decay. Potion of invisibility. I don't think this fixes it like I think it would. Oh, no! Stop! Oh. It's weird. There we go. Yeah, invisibility doesn't... what the heck? Let me throw. Yeah, invisibility won't affect the potion frames. I think my brain said that would be a thing that would happen, but it didn't. Again, it's mostly just a huge tower that gets a lot of snow on the top because it's built on top of a mountain, which is really annoying. But this was Dawnguard. These are vampire hunters. Once we made the Dawnguard, I was like, hey, I need vampires. So I made the vampires. So this came first, and then the vampires. That's literally all the Dawnguard is. It's just a huge tower that's lit up with some cool torch sconces. Again, random trap in the middle of nowhere. I don't even think that accounts to the to 87 structure count. Now, here is a completely normal prairie. Absolutely normal. Nothing is different. We didn't build anything here. Adam frames couldn't be invisible till 2020. Hey, it's been a while, okay? We didn't build anything on it, but we built quite a few things under it. This is the Dwarven... this is the Dwarven city. Boop. What did I tell you about that design that I made on the Inventor's Island? There it is. That's the design. It's the throne with the flag for the dwarves, because the dwarves were their own faction. We actually, because we wanted to imitate Moria and Erebor, we wanted to make green pillars, but there was no way to make green stairs because they didn't have green prismarine stairs. But we did like the lanterns on the strings, so we just copied the lanterns on the strings using fences and glowstone. To the Great Halls of Moria, that was our dimensions that we made. We spent so much time mining this by hand and TNT and end crystals. Again, this is partly unfinished, but not completely. This was other things that we managed. This was a huge forge with molten lava, and then the barrels of metal on their own rails that would dump out and just hang. This is some loud music. Hold on. There we go. Sorry about that. The buckets. Yeah, I know. This entire area we had to mine out using only like TNT and end crystals because you didn't have the cheats to be able to just do that. This is where designs were coming in from underneath the castle and from Inventor's Isle. You saw a little bit of things here where this is like different alternating stairs. And again, these things here emit no light at all. They're just for decoration. There's actually a secret area you can get up to that leads absolutely nowhere. This is the Hoard. You could get valuables from that chest. And that was supposed to lead somewhere. This was one of the things that just took so long. It was hard to have the motivation to finish. And we actually, these things sticking out of nowhere was where we were going to build different rooms. Like, that was going to be the barracks over there. Boop. Time to get out of here. I think that's all. What's this? Coal. Coal, smiley face, because that was me and my sister. And again, you go back over here. Secret entrance. I just had to do it. You be messing only a dragon. We are missing a dragon, that's true. This here is Thornkeep. Again, based off of a different place in Aviond. This building has burnt down so many flippin' times. It's been so, like, this specific building. This one right here burned down like 8 times. Ah! This one here, also based off of a different area. I think this one also burned down, maybe? I don't know. But this was a shop. based off of the game Avion. This is the Smoky Boar Inn. It's supposed to be a inn. Just yes, don't leave the inn at night. That's a reference from the that was a reference from the game. Just for posterity, I'm gonna look upstairs. Doop. Yeah, see, that's for Tajal, Galahad, Edward, Stella, Mel, and Yamite. Because people would wake up and they would look out the windows because stuff happened. Ooh, spoilers. Spoilers from a game that was made from so long ago. This well, very important part of the game. I don't think this one actually goes anywhere, but it was supposed to go somewhere because that's part of the game, so we needed to make sure there was a well at least. This is a lighthouse. This lighthouse was made by me. You can tell because there's redstone. Hold on, I didn't wait long enough. Oh, no, the lever was left on. That was the issue. You know, as like a 12, 14-year-old child, this was hot stuff. That was the peak of amazing. And then you would just like enter the world and it would be bugged out again, which is why the lever was still there and why there's a hole in the top so that you could fix it. It's not mumbo jumbo, but it's pretty close. Down in this corner, and here's the thing. I could get from anywhere on this map to anywhere on this map, excluding a few slight places, because I remember just about everything where everything was. This is the Ice Kingdom that I mentioned earlier. We had so much fun trying to get through these little pathways with boats, because it was ice and you'd, drive off. We had to be careful with how we lit these. We had to use, I believe we had to use these sea lanterns because the ice would melt. This tree would melt a lot, so that's why it's not lit up. There's cows. Oh, this is also an Ice Kingdom based off of Avion. Oop. And it just goes off into the literal corner of the map because it's Minecraft. And there's an end. And by end, I mean it does not continue. Not there is a literal end. That did exist. But still. This was going to be a huge castle. Like, this is only the start. And this was going to be the design. And we were going to work on it. It never happened. This place... Well, I need to go. Have a good stream, man. I'll see you later, Shepard. Have a good one. This place was the shop. And it was so much fun to try and just race around here with the different things. I think they sold polar bears down there. What's down here? Oh my gosh. Nope, it's gonna autosave again. Quick, now that the mod is gone, cause chaos. I am still a mod. I can kick you. I am not hopeless. Auto-saving again. Because it just did that. We had to build through this thing. You can even see the background of the map, because I have the game up here in the corner. You can see the background of the old map. Yeah, this was Quinaria, Fur and Teeth, because you sold polar bears. And rabbits, actually. The rabbits were all up there. I think they're all named Toast. Because you name your rabbits Toast. Oop, actually, don't want to leave that blood on the floor. You are not getting out, rabbit. That's just not going to happen. So that's Quinaria. This was the elves. So many different structures. That's the Snow Kingdom. You have the pirates down this way that leads all the way to a pirate ship. Y'all were still playing this in 2016? Probably? I don't know. I'm really frustrated because I know there's somewhere in here there is a secret entrance to something. And I'm just gonna make big holes in it and ruin the entire moment. Because I don't remember where I put the stupid secret entrance. No, wait. End crystal. Yeah, this was when Dragon's Breath. I think this was when Dragon's Breath was added. Is there a way out? Am I dumb? Yes, there is. Okay. And again, secret passage. If there's not a secret passage, I wasn't alive at the time. Because there has to be a secret passage to everything. This was, again, just I got bored. And I wanted to just make a cozy area underground. So this was frustrating to build trees underground. We're not even done. There's still a lot more to go through. So there's just a library. You know, if you turn off fire spreads, everything burns down again. I even added a... There we go. I added a bridge here. I like this bridge. I think I decorated the bridge with vines. There's multiple trees here that have been decorated with redstone torches so that when you approach from this direction, you get subtle light. Leads to this little dock here. I think I started with the dock and I moved all the way to making that house. This was a greenhouse. Also not associated with anyone. It's just a greenhouse we wanted to make. You know, with pumpkins and the usual, like, swamp stuff, because it's in a swamp. There was so much of this world that was swamp. It was so frustrating. What the... Why is there just netherrack here? Oh, yeah. Normal. Young Volk was obsessed with redstone. Young, because we all know he was never young. Yeah, I came out of the womb 30 years old. Everybody knows this. Hold on. Hold on. Brain thinking. I'm pretty sure I built something in this area too, but I don't remember. Yeah, going back to the village. Tavern. Well, I wasn't actually born. I just spawned in. This was when we were walking around with Frostwalker, but because it's blocked by the boat, the sun won't melt the ice. So that's why that ice is there. Oh. I'm just gonna fly there. Now, fun thing about these here, it's glass. Frostwalker, my goat enchant. I know. So we go this way, actually. Probably. Yes, right here. There's actually a special tree right there to help me spot this place. Boop, because right here is another secret area. This was an area where you had to throw a golden nugget in here, and then a guy on the other side would pull this lever to lower the thing so that you could get in. Because, you know, you need a bouncer if you're going to have a tavern. And this is the tavern. With retractable tables, because, you know, we made a table better. This was the pantry, because obviously you stock these things in your pantry. That's just what you do. Cat, again, you have to play cat. Actually, Course fruit available to the public? No, actually. It's not available to the public because on the inside of the bar, there was a redstone to close that door, and it's an iron door, so you can't just break through it, duh. This was, I think that was, yep, for that right there, so that nobody could get in the bar. And this was for the tables. Tables would go down just like that. This was just the back room with, did I name these cups? I did not name these cups. What if someone sneaks in the door? It's course fruit. What are they gonna do? And again, secret entrance. And the thing is, that tree with the afro, secret entrance into the bar. There was also Thieves Guild. Thieves Guild had an entrance into the bar, and of course there's another portal. You can't spawn midair. That's not how that works. Course fruit actually will not let you spawn in midair. It will minecart. I know, minecart. Calm down. Arena, because of course you had to get an arena, and you'll never notice what this is a reference to. Nobody will know what this is a reference to at all for an arena and these men dressed as they are. Completely nobody will know. Tell us, Volk, Thor Ragnarok. Because I think we were making this around the time that came out. I don't know. And yes, this here, how do I drop stuff? I forget how to drop stuff. Goes all the way over to here. The bottom half of my screen is covered up, so I can't see how to make a lot of stuff. 2017, yeah, it's been 9 years now. I saw that when it was released, you fool. Nah, you were still a baby. Couldn't have been around for that. The fact we can still hear Cat, even though I ran away, but that's because I'm playing it in the background. I was fully sentient. I don't think you have ever qualified for fully sentient, to be fair. I don't think that's ever been a thing where somebody was like, ah, Crispy, yeah, fully sentient. If you can give me a card that says this person is fully sentient, approved by the government, I will accept that. But until you get a card that says this person is fully sentient, it doesn't exist. And that, guys, is Oreos. I've probably missed a few things. I definitely missed things. So you're not fully sentient either? Nobody's making claims about that either. Here's the thing I missed. A little area you could only get into by flying. And again, secret entrance in your secret entrance, because why not? You'll never guess who designed this. And this was just a way to get diamond armor and do this, and a sword. And I actually found a way that you can step down while still doing this as a person. And if I go out there, it will lead out to the middle of the mountain. It might have been... No, I'm pretty sure that was somebody else. Somebody more stupid that had taste. I mean, didn't have any taste. But they probably had taste. I mean, this stuff looks metal. I mean, I still, as a person, will probably decorate their ceilings with a crafting table, because the crafting table bottom is planks. So nobody will know you have a crafting table, because your ceiling is a crafting table. Yeah, Vox definitely did not design this room because there's not enough head height. If there was more head height, you would know she designed this room. And the way out was by breaking through here. And that's how you got in that random bit of nowhere. I believe, and I'm just like going through this randomly. I believe on this side, there was another area. The troublesome part about having secret tunnels literally everywhere is that you begin to forget where you put all of them. Again, just a little, I just had to put an area, randomly, an area, just everywhere. Just had to put it everywhere. Oh. But then I had to make it cozy. So, it was who I am. I had to make it cozy, but I had to make a secret area. That's just the dementia, I'm sure. Sure it's the dementia, not anything else. Bring that song back? I refuse to bring that song back. It's probably copyrighted. It's my fishing song? Definitely not bringing it back anymore. You can listen to it on your own. Because it's probably copyrighted, and I'm not going to make a whole lot from this video, but if I do, that would be epic. Anyways. And that, my friends, is Oreos. A world that I spent many of my childhood working on, and many more of my childhood making random contraptions throughout the entire thing. What the freak was that down there? That was probably a railway, because we had railways leading almost everywhere throughout the entire map. Speaking of, as we finish this, as we get to the end, I need to point something out here. It was in this forest here somewhere. This was a thing Vox was doing without me. So I have to remember where it was at. Yep, right here. This was a thing she was building, and it was a secret from me. Evrenfall awaits. Now, this is the tricky part, because I didn't see this coming, because Milk Bucket, you can't see much coming at all. But you go through here, and well, she was working on it. There's a lot of style that has to go into stuff that you're not done with. Tripwire, you stand on it. The end. Down the rabbit hole I go, into the dark, silence in tow. I landed a stump, rot beneath my feet. Oh, gloomy pit where bizarre and strange meet. I smell scents of soaps and fairy rings. Memories of old tales with it brings. Then I look to my right, next to a wall. A chest with nothing in it at all. This was a puzzle for me to figure out how to get out. And the way I believe is you, like, stick something in there, that when you do, that piston... not piston. Piston dispenser. I'm good at parkour. Good at parkour. It's an old version. You gotta believe me, I'm good at parkour. Oop. And this was what she was working on. What she never finished. The fact she got this far is incredible. Because she was covering the entire end in mycelium and turning all of the towers into giant mushrooms. She's never gonna finish this. This world is built on an Xbox 360 from never ago. It's like, it would be like going to Narnia if she finished this, especially with the fact that she's training to be a nurse. That's not gonna happen. And with that, guys, this is the end. Both figuratively and literally, and the end of what I consider my childhood. There is so many memories, so much arguing, so much that went into this. So much exasperation about, I have to build the castle. I don't like it. It's just gonna be a box. How are we gonna light this up? Hey, look at this. You can't catch me because I'm ender pearling through glass panes. What are you gonna do? It was just amazing, and it was awesome, and it was my childhood, and it was my sister. And that's something I'm always going to miss, and it was being able to share this experience with her is probably why I cried at her wedding, because I know that I can never replace my sister, and I will never be able to replace these times I spent with her, which is why I wanted to go through this entire thing, except for most of the railways, because that's boring, to just document this, because the Xbox is going to die probably in like 3 years. It's not going to be able to turn on, or the disc is going to break, or the hard drive is going to boot down any minute. Minecraft in itself could just stop working because the disc reader stops. I'm surprised I even got it to work first try, because I thought there was no way I would be able to do this. The railways must be documented, vote. No, they're so boring though. All right. Oh, I missed a spot. Hold on. I missed a spot. And you're right. The railways must be documented, because I missed a spot. I forgot about a secret entrance. I'm flying directly to it. I swear. I don't swear. I try not to swear. Swearing is generally considered a bad thing. It is here. I'm a little disappointed I haven't been watching this whole time. I'm going to put this entire thing on YouTube, so you should be able to watch it later. This right here is actually one of the things that I worked on at Invention Island. There is a lever around here somewhere. I don't remember where the lever is. Probably right there. Nope. Psych! Lever goes to a secret entrance. Boop. That leads to a railway. Before we go on that railway, before we go on all the railways, I just have to finish up this little area. Boop. Ma'am, I have ADHD. No. No excuse, Snow. Yeah, see, railway. See, she's got attention issues if there's a railway involved. If I press this button, that's a ladder. Hold on. Fixed. Secret entrance. But this secret entrance comes out in a mouth. Just cause. This didn't even have any purpose. The entire thing was, I got bored and I just wanted to build another secret entrance. And of course, if you're going to be the Thieves Guild, you need to be able to sneak around and get everywhere possible as fast as possible. First of all, what the heck is that? What the heck is that? That is ugly, but also, what the heck? That's nether quartz. We need to go visit the nether before I leave. Secret entrance for you, Crispy. Not secret entrance, railway. This was a long railway. You literally asked for this. This is literally a thing you asked for. You said, why don't you make longer railways, Vulcan? I said, I think it gets pretty long. This is not just normal railway. This is creative speed railway. I built this by hand using... I don't have a map on me. Where the map at? Who mapping? There's the map. Using the coordinates on the map. The coordinates on the map. This is how you had coordinates. The map. Map. I'm good at streaming. The map had chords? Yeah. This is Xbox 360. It had chords. Okay? So after all this, again, secret entrance. I don't think I... Oh, these are activator rails. So if you run over it, it activates. I don't think that was very... hold on. That was what I did, man. Just made secret entrances. Oh. This is not the village. This is the tree. Well, that was the village. This is the tree, though. And this was... I think that's everything. There's probably going to be one more thing that I complete. Oh, wait. The nether. See? Man, I keep saying it's everything, and it's never everything. Because I always think that there's everything, but no, it's not everything. Hold on. We don't talk about the slightly delayed yapping. All right. Oop. I wanted to make it so that when you step out of the portal, you immediately step out into here, but they just always looked at the wall. No matter what, it was always looking at the wall. There's nothing you could do about it. This was in the very corner of the world, because that's how coordinates works. Because that's the nether. Railway, so that you could get just about anywhere in the nether. Dude, the nether was so ugly, I know. I played a mod once, it was called Up, Down, and All Around, where you could just have different gravity. So stupid. And it was on a really old version with this nether, and it was just ugly and a half. Dude, this was... Oh, this was to... I wanted to make another room that was just, it looked like the overworld. Where does this one go? So it's like exploring a world you never knew existed. Okay. This one goes to vampires? No, this is the cave underneath. Yeah, this is the cave underneath the spawn point. Yeah. Oop. Nether fortress. That was a thing. I'm pretty sure. No, that was not it. Well, that looks weird. That also looks weird. This nether was quite ugly. Where does this one? Where does this one go? Tell me where you lead. Who are you? Where doth thine lead? Doop. Random nether portal. Quinaria? No! Another thing we didn't see! Oh my gosh, it's a good thing I didn't end. I completely forgot this was here. Vox made this one. A bridge. Oop. And a Viking house. What do you mean there's more? I know! I just forget so much. I think if I sleep, it'll stay night. Because I said pick night. Does it? It does stay night. That's funny. That's actually completely hilarious. Yeah, this is over by Quinaria and the elves. I forgot this house was here. I feel bad about that. It was such a great house. See, look at that, guys. Such the shading and the size and just everything. It was amazing. Amazing house. Top tier house. Oh, wait. Here's another thing. I also made this. I was wondering where this was. See, there's just more everywhere. I told you, 87 structures. This one actually comes with a bit of parkour where you have to jump around to get this chest that has a poisoned potato in it. Yeah. I just... there was so... And the end portal is in here, and then there's this giant mansion here. Potato, I know. There was just so much. I probably put a redstone thing underneath here. But I genuinely don't remember. Dude, I gotta go. It's been so long. I'll see you later. And guys, that is Oreos. That is my world. That was my childhood. That was my sister. And it was all because some random nerd stole 10 pounds of Oreos. 10 pounds, 5 pounds, I don't remember. And we're all the way back at the start. It's been 2.5 hours just going over this old world, and I'm so lucky to be able to do it. There was so much that had to happen for me to be able to do this. I actually glitched into a account to be able to actually do this, because the account was connected to Xbox Live, but I didn't have the password, so I started signing in, but I pressed the Xbox button. It was just, there was so much that had to fall into place to make this happen. And I'm just really thankful to God and to my sister and to all of you for watching. Thank you guys so much. And thank you to Vox. I will forever miss those memories and those moments. And I will miss you. This is not a death note. I'm not about to die. But I do want this to carry a little bit of weight. So, I will see y'all in the next one. I'm waiting a little bit to make sure that it records all the way. Bye-bye, guys. Secret entrance.